Hi everyone, nice to have you back. This is the Centennial with Eva.
Hi.
Yes, if you want videos only with Eva and me, not the ones with only me, maybe that's not interesting for you because Eva is so adorable.
Yeah, I like that.
Then you have the All About Eva. It's like the movie All About Eve. You have to watch that. All About Eva list. So I have a few, lists, playlists that you can follow in our channel, and one of them is All About Eva. And there I collect all the Eva. So then you can just binge Eva in a way.
Having a playlist named after me, life goals achieved.
Even a movie, All About Eve. It's a very good movie, it's a classic. And that's what we're talking about right now. Yes, we're talking about classic fragrances because one of the trends of 2025, people, we're now recording in 2025, is that these classic fragrances are getting into the attention
really?
again.
I hadn't noticed that.
People are, really interested in these classic fragrances because you have to embrace the past. And you can learn from the past. That's true, eh?
And there are a lot of good perfume creations that have been made and created in the past.
And that still are available. Because the fragrances we're going to show you are still available, of course. It's not that you have to buy like this $200 bottle of fragrance from 1939 or something. No, these fragrances are still available. And they're quite cheap. Mine are quite cheap.
Mine aren't. So maybe in this video you will be the more niche side and the lesser known fragrances.
Oh, yeah.
The ones I've brought are very well loved and well known, but they fall for me under the category classics. So I thought let's bring them to the attention.
Oh, yes. I want to smell them. Yes.
Okay.
You may begin.
Okay. In one of the previous videos, I actually discussed L'Interdit by Givenchy already.
Oh, yes.
So that's a perfume that was created.
You can watch it right here. Sorry, I had to do that.
So that perfume was created for Audrey Hepburn by Givenchy himself. And the name, I don't know if it's true, but it's a bit of an urban legend that when he told her he wanted to commercialize the perfume, she told him, "Non, je te l'interdis," so French for "no, I forbid it," because she loved it so much and she wanted to gatekeep the perfume.
Beautiful story.
So L'Interdit has been around for quite some time. It's a white floral perfume, so tuberose. But there are a lot of flankers to the perfume as well. And I own a few of them because I like them all actually. And the one I thought, I'm not going to bring the original today, I'm going to bring one of the flankers. And I've brought the rouge version, so L'Interdit rouge.
Wow.
The red one, it's a flanker from, I would say, 2022, if I remember correctly.
Oh, so it's not really a classic, this one.
But it has the DNA of the classic.
Oh, yeah.
And it brings a modern touch to it.
Oh, yes. It's a reinvention.
It's a reinvention, yes.
That's nice. Yes.
The classic one, so the normal L'Interdit, is still very wearable today. So it's still a very timeless perfume. But I just wanted to spice things up with the rouge one, which has, coincidentally, more spices than the original one.
I like spicy. I think that's very sensual. Yes.
Very public.
Okay, these are not used.
Safe one. I'm gonna spray away from you because it's quite the heavy hitter.
Is it daring? Yes.
Not daring really, but
oh yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
It's there.
It has a sweetness also.
And I'm gonna wait.
And it's really rouge. It doesn't have the lipstick vibe of Dior Homme, but it reminds me of like something makeup-y or something.
I'm gonna
like
let you smell the original one really quickly.
It reminds me of makeup stuff, yeah.
This is the original one.
Okay. Oh yes, it has the same DNA, but this is spicier, and this screams out loud in comparison to this one.
It's louder. So it has blood orange and ginger in it. So there's a bit of an edge to it.
Yeah. Oh, I like this rouge more. Because it's spicier, it's a bit sharper around the edges.
There's also, and I own that one as well, it's the black one. It's still in the box, but there's also the intense version. I didn't bring that one to the video because this one is discontinued. So we're not going to do that. But it had a note of sesame. And they reissued this one with the sesame note, and there's a boozy note in this as well now in the black bottle. So, but this is the rouge eau de parfum because they also have a rouge ultime. There's a lot of versions of L'Interdit. I think there are 6 or 7 versions currently on the market. So, but this one really, really nice. And doesn't smell vintage at all, this one.
No, it doesn't smell vintage at all.
So
it's really rouge. It's really like something
I get that.
I like it. Okay.
The next one, well known, well loved, well hated as well.
Oh, well hated.
How could I, if we're talking about vintage classic perfumes, how could I not bring Chanel Numéro 5?
Numéro 5 because Chanel was offered a few options, and it was like number 1, number 2, and the number 5 she loved the most.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and that was, number 5. She said, okay, let's call it number 5.
Iconic scent. Do you know it?
I know it, of course, but I don't have like this scent memory of it. So I'm really curious of how it will smell and if it will smell. This is from the 1920s, I think.
Yeah, so I think this formulation is from the 80s, but the scent itself.
Oh, it's so typical, old perfumery, but it is classic.
The aldehydes in
masterful perfumery.
It's very soapy as well. And
very
this one,
soapy. Very soapy.
I have loved it for my entire life because my mom used to wear it when I was a girl. And I always told myself when I turn 30, I'm allowed to buy Chanel Numéro 5.
And you did when you were 30?
I got it from my mom as a present for my 30th birthday.
How beautiful.
Yeah, so, and I haven't worn it a lot because it is, a lot of people don't like this one because it has that vintage smell.
And it has a soapiness.
And
it's like this Dove kind of.
Yeah, and I love that, but it's also quite loud, the original one. So you cannot deny that it's there. You always smell it on people. But I do have a very nice alternative if you love Chanel Numéro 5, but you don't really, you think it's a bit too strong. They also have the Eau Première, which is a bit lighter if you compare the two bottles. And that one has, I think it's wonderfully done. It's the DNA of the original, but it's a lighter, it's more modern even.
Okay.
And this one is way more wearable.
Oh, right. I'm comparing the two right now. Oh, this is way softer.
The
softer and a bit brighter also.
Yes, it's brighter.
And
they also
I love it more because the heavy soapiness disappears a little bit when you wear this one. Yeah.
They also have L'eau, so this is Eau Première, and they have L'eau, and that one is even lighter and even more distant from the original one. So the three of them are, but I think it's really well done that they have kept the DNA of the original one in this Eau Première, yet made it less heavy. So Chanel, I still think it's a timeless classic, and there's nothing like this scent.
No,
it's so unique still, and
really
for that I will
wonderful.
always love it.
But I would prefer the Eau Première. It's very good.
I agree. I wear the Eau Première more often because it's more wearable.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the third one, it's not as old as the first two, but a classic nonetheless.
Yes.
We have Angel by Mugler.
This is going to be a blast from the past for me because my first girlfriend, you know her.
I do.
She smelled so great, and it was this. So I'm gonna be totally transported to this. Well, we broke up, so it's not gonna be a very nice memory, maybe.
Oh.
Yes.
If you don't like it, just throw it away.
Unbelievable! Oh my God! It's unbelievable what smell does. Really, if you do share that too, if you have these fragrances that bring you back to your past, this is this whole period
of your life,
her. Yes.
If you would like this, let us know, but we can do a whole video on Mugler because I love the brand. I own a lot of their releases, and for me, this is master perfumery.
Yes, it is. It's beautiful.
I'm happy that they still haven't changed this one after the takeover by L'Oréal. Well, maybe they did, but I don't smell the change because I don't own an old bottle. This is patchouli, praline. There's a chocolate in this as well. So this is actually the original gourmand. I don't really get gourmand from this one, but
it's a bit soapy to me. When I smell it on the strip,
really,
it's a bit soapy. And it's a bit like this Chanel. Maybe I'm smelling the Chanel. No, I'm not.
If you don't like Angel, it's the same with the as with the Chanel. If you like it but you think it's too heavy, I have an alternative for you, which is the Eau de Toilette, and this is actually one of the first releases by L'Oréal. So when the brand was taken over by L'Oréal, this was one of the first releases, and you can see it. The bottles are different. So like the original bottle, you cannot let it stand up. The L'Oréal ones, you can. So they have a firmer base. And this, I owned this one before I owned the original one. And I had a sample, and I didn't realize it was the Eau de Toilette. And I sprayed it on, and I thought, yes, I finally can wear Angel. Because my mom, again, wore this one in the 90s. And I thought, oh, my nose has changed now. I really think this is a wearable perfume. And then I realized it was the Eau de Toilette, which is a lot lighter. And I still...
Yes. Yes.
I don't tend to like the releases by L'Oréal. The Mugler releases by L'Oréal, but this one I think is amazing.
Yes.
So it's a bit more fruity than the original one.
Yes, and therefore it's also a bit younger smelling.
Yes,
it's for younger people. It's like
it's lighter.
A little girl can also wear this, like a teenager. This is really like a teenager perfume.
Yeah, I would agree.
Really?
I would agree.
A young teenager, like 13, 14 years old.
I would have worn this.
This is your thing.
Definitely, when I was a teen, I would have worn this because I loved Angel, but I didn't like it on myself because it's too heavy. But these ones, really good releases. And Angel, by the way, is a perfume from '92. So I would consider it a classic because I think all of these perfumes, the OGs, so Chanel, Numéro 5, Angel, L'Interdit, they changed the perfume industry. They did, and they are still iconic until today, and that's why they are classics.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you, Eva. Thank you. I brought really masculine fragrances from the past.
Okay.
Because like in the 80s, for example, there are going to be two ones from the 80s. In the 80s, for example, they stepped back from the typical male, classy, luxurious kind of thing. And they brought in these kind of animalic, but also these herbal, woody, very strong masculine fragrances, and it is it was a real discovery also for me because I like a bit stronger fragrances, a bit more woody fragrances, and these ones just they stood out for me because I bought a lot of classics and then I sold them because I didn't like them. It was too old manish kind of,
Okay,
I really do like, for example, I didn't brought that along, but you can watch it in this video where I'm talking about it. It's all about cheapies, and it's a very cheap one. It's from the 60s, Agua Brava by Puig, I think. Puig, yeah. And it's a very, very nice one also.
That one. Let's go.
But this is, to begin with, a fragrance from 1949. Wow. And it's by Visconti di Modrone, and it's Acqua di Selva. This is an eau de cologne, but it still has good longevity because you would expect eau de cologne, I splash it on, an hour later it's gone. But this, tends to be okay, and it has a spray. So it's in between like an eau de toilette and an eau de cologne, and it lasts around 4 hours on your skin, so that's not bad. And it's a pine forest.
Let's go.
You're smelling like a pine forest. I don't know if you would like this. but it's a true classic, and I like it. I like it. Yeah. I will read out the notes for you.
Oh!
So, in the first phase, you have this citrus blast, and that can be off-putting.
That is the eau de cologne.
Yes, but the wonder is in the dry down, okay? So, in the top notes, you have lemon, and that's the lemon you smell, and the bergamot also. But still, already you have like this lavender, and also some basil and rosemary. And the basil is, I think, to me personally, very noticeable. And I adore that. Yes, yes. And also in the mids, you have pine tree. So it's a pine foresty smell. Thyme. I also smell the thyme. And clary sage, geranium and cloves. And then you have the base notes, cedar, musk, peat, and vetiver. So this is really a fragrance with a herbal and mossy base. It's really a green fragrance, but it has also this pine foresty kind of smell.
It makes
that I truly adore.
my eyes tear a bit.
Yes,
because
it is very pungent.
This is one of those fragrances when you have a cold and your nose is blocked, you should smell it. Because it opens up your nose, your sinuses.
That's because of the pine and the thyme also. The
I
thyme
do
is
like it.
Yes.
I think this one would be nice in summer.
Oh yeah.
When it's very hot outside.
Yes, yes, I can imagine. But you have to wait a little bit because of the lemon, the citrus. It stays a little bit because it's a big blast of lemon and bergamot. But then at the end you have this beautiful, as I said, mossy, woody base. And you still have, the thyme, the clary sage, the basil shining through. Yeah, it's very beautiful. And it's like, 1949, so it stood the test of time.
Wow.
Very good one.
Nice.
And then we go to the 80s. First of all, this one is 1980.
Also, the bottle is very 1980s.
Very phallic.
But also
maybe.
very brutalist.
Yeah, very brutalist. It's like the new movie, The Brutalist, And this is Giacomo de Giacomo.
Even the name is very...
Yes.
I am mad.
And this is the boldest scent I have here, I think. I'm gonna let you smell it. I'm gonna read out the note. You're gonna be... Yeah, this is gonna be a blast for you. I love this. You don't like this?
No, I do. But I think it's funny how this is really like the man.
Yes, this is the man, This is the man in the 80s.
But not like nowadays you have that typical scent of a male perfume or a perfume marketed towards men.
Yeah.
The DNA that you smell everywhere, this is not that.
No.
This is very like when I say this is the man, it's
It's very woody. It's also very mossy, very bit green, but also a bit animalic. And but to me, it really works. It works.
When I smell this, I think about Captain Von Trapp from The Sound of Music.
Oh my God!
I mean?
Yeah.
This is the protector.
yeah, definitely. This has rosemary, basil also, galbanum, lavender also, cardamom, lime, grapefruit, sage, rosewood, geranium, cinnamon, clove, cumin, a lot of things. Patchouli is also in there, and of course you have the cypress and the cedar. And there's also even some iris. So this is you cannot pinpoint the notes very well. It's like, oh, this has that, because it has so many notes, and it's really a mixture of this, like, it's even like a lavender scent, but it's a smoky lavender scent. It has this musky feel also to it, but it's not soft. But when you wait a little, it can become a bit creamier and a bit softer.
Yes, I get it, a certain, I was gonna say soapiness, but it's not really soap. But I think this reminds me of yeah, like maybe you're a father figure or a grandfather figure, even someone who is very well. I was going to say clean, but I mean who takes care of himself. Yet smokes a pipe.
Yes. The smokiness in this.
Yeah, so I see a very well-groomed male figure, like maybe even in a suit, but the pipe is there.
Yeah. You also had these challenging scents like Antaios. I don't know if I pronounce that well, and also Kouros. You know, it's in the likes of those fragrances, and it's darn cheap. It's really, really cheap. I really adore this. Drakkar Noir is also another one. Yeah, but that's, to me, this Drakkar Noir is a bit soapy, a bit too soapy, and I really like this more. It's not that barbershoppy as Drakkar Noir.
And when I now go back to the Acqua di Selva, the first one, it's very medicinal, the first one, but not in like a bad way. It's
synthetic,
like
maybe. A bit more
no, it's the herbs that I smell more in this one now.
Yeah.
It's nice, but it is challenging.
It's very challenging. It's really like, I'm the man and here am I, you know?
So this is
this would be like an old guy to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But to me, it is class in a bottle.
That's why maybe the grandfather figure came to mind. I agree, it smells very vintage. So, Giacomo de Giacomo.
Very vintage, yes. And then we have another vintage one that is very cheap.
That's okay, cheap is good.
And this is ZIno by Davidoff. I am a big fan of AC. I talked about it. He is a reviewer of fragrances on YouTube. Very nice guy. He made already, I think he's on his 500th video, so a lot more than we. But he also adores this fragrance. So I thought, okay, let's blind buy it. I believe him, and I kept it. And
so
this is
Davidoff is very well known for cool water. I think that's the most famous one.
Totally different.
Okay.
And this is less of the old guy blasts of Giacomo de Giacomo. This is also patchouli.
Oh, this is nice.
Oh, you love it? It's great. I will read out the notes. So this has,
I get tea tree again.
The tea tree thing. That's clary sage, maybe, and the lavender. It also has rosewood, Brazilian rosewood, and bergamot. Oh, yeah. And then you have rose. You have
That's
geranium,
why I like it.
yes, jasmine and lily of the valley. So it's more floral. And then in the base you have the patchouli, you have the sandalwood, vanilla and cedar. So this is quite softer because of the vanillic base and also the florals in the mids. It's really a gentlemanly scent, and it's less of he smokes a pipe. No, but this one doesn't smoke a pipe. Maybe.
No, he doesn't.
No.
But it is again, as I said with the first one, it opens up your nose. There's a stingy kind of.
Yeah. So the magic is in the dry down with this one. It gets more powdery. It gets softer. You feel, you smell the lavender and feel the lavender and the vanillic base. It has this beautiful dark patchouli and also a little bit of woodiness. You really have to get over the initial blast. It's like, you're gonna have to get over the hill a little bit with this one.
I also really love how the bottle is actually, it looks like a house from the 70s. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with the yellow cap.
But this is 1986. This is not the 70s or so. This is even, they released it later than this one. And I can imagine, depending on the scent, but then the bottle is pretty old.
Maybe it's a house from the 80s. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's really nice. It's very gentlemanly, as I said.
Cool.
And what would be your preferred one?
I think this one.
Ah, still this one.
Yes, because it's very special.
Yeah.
it remains fresh.
Oh yes, yes. It's a real eau de
like
cologne, but it is like, yeah, a very bright pine forest. Love it.
I love the bottle as well with the green. Nice, great selection.
Nice, wow. Do you also have these classics from the 70s or maybe 60s or earlier, or 80s, 90s? Do let us know. We want to discover them too.
Yes, definitely. Yes. And let me know if you are a Chanel person as well. Don't leave me hanging. I'll be the only one who loves it.
Yes, and please let me know what you think of Giacomo di Giacomo, if you have smelled it before, and if I can wear it, because I'm doubting if I can still wear it in 2025.
You can. You wear whatever you want.
Yes, that's it. If I want to feel like a rough grandpa.
Like a grandfather. If you stayed until the end, thank you so much for sticking with us.
Yes.
Let us know what your favorite vintage or classic scents are. We love to discover your suggestions, and we'll be back with another video soon.
Woohoo! Yes,
Bye-bye.
and do subscribe if you like the content. That would be great, one big centennial family. Bye-bye.